This week's meditation is all about digestion. So find a seat and we'll get started in just a minute. I want to speak first to why this meditation is so powerful and why our digestion is so important, not just physically. This meditation is great for turning on physical digestion through stimulating peristalsis, which is the action that helps squeeze and churn food through your digestive system. It's also really great for creating a more relaxed environment in your nervous system, which is literally called the rest and digest response for a reason. If we're not engaged with that response of the system, we're literally not able to digest the food that we eat. It doesn't matter how good of quality the food you're eating. If you're not engaging this part of your nervous system, your body won't be able to digest and absorb the foods that you're eating. And it's also really great for more subtle forms of digestion: psycho-emotional digestion, energetic digestion, and sensory digestion. What I mean by this is, like, for example, if you've been going through a major life transition or a big life event, sometimes those things can feel like way too much for our system to actually digest, and we end up shutting down and turning away from them and pretty much get emotional constipation. We just stop letting it process through. Now, you could also think of sensory overwhelm if you're one of those people who goes out in public and gets overwhelmed with bright lights and loud noises and all the people and energy around. Sometimes that can be the body's signal that things aren't being digested. You're not allowing things to move through you quite as well as you could. So this is a great meditation for that as well. Find a seat. You can always bookmark this practice to come back to later. I really recommend doing it for every day for at least like 10 days to 2 weeks to really notice the effects of it. So once you're seated, I'd like you to bring one of your hands to the navel center, which literally, if you just find your belly button and bring your finger onto, or maybe even inside of your belly button, but just rest one hand there, and the other hand will find Samana Mudra, which is a mudra of digestion and assimilation. All the fingers come to touch, like you're speaking Italian, that you can just rest the hand down on your lap facing upward, so fingertips point up. Now, if you'd like to, let the eyes close and tune into your breath. And with every inhale, I'd like for you to sense your navel moving outward, away from your spine. And with every exhale, sense the navel moving inward. And it's not even necessarily that you're forcing the body to move in this way. It's just naturally how the body moves when you're breathing using the diaphragm. So every inhale, it's just natural, no need to force. The navel moves away from the spine, and every exhale, the navel moves back in. And as you sit here and breathe, you might just notice how, as you inhale, the distance between the navel and the spine increases. You might notice just about how far away they are, and as you exhale, the distance decreases, they move in closer together. So just with the breath, noticing these two spots, the spine and the navel, and how the navel moves away and toward the spine as you breathe. Great, and stay with that. And we'll just add another small focal point here, which is feeling the septum, the space inside the nose that is between your left and right nostril. So it's this little flat piece of cartilage, and I'd like for you to just feel, as you breathe here, navel moving out and in, and also feeling the subtle sensation of air grazing the septum as you sit and breathe. Again, we're not trying to force or do anything with the breath. We're just letting the breath be natural. somewhat diaphragmatic so that the navel is moving as you breathe, with awareness in the navel center and the septum, space between the nostrils. Good, and we'll do this a little bit longer, and you might notice some things in your body. You might get a little gurgling in your belly, which is just a sign that your rest and digest nervous system is turning on. You might feel some softening in your face and your shoulders and in the abdominal region. And you might also notice that things are starting to feel a little bit more calm in your inner landscape, emotionally and mentally. Great. And you can open the eyes, lower the hands, give your fingers a little wiggle. And you can stay and do that practice for as long as you'd like. It's really, really wonderful to just tune into these natural areas of the body that support our body's natural ability to digest and move things through. And I love this sensing and feeling of the navel because that was our first food source from our mother through the navel. So it has a very, very old, since before you were born, physiological tie to digestion and nourishment. And so by just sitting with our navel center, we're tapping into that primal and foundational ability that our body naturally has for digesting our food, our life experiences, and our sensory impressions. I hope that you enjoyed this practice. Again, come back to it often, especially if you're working with some chronic digestive stuff. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. I'm happy to chat more about this practice and digestive functions. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.